Right now, thousands of Americans in Mexico are being told to shelter in place after a drug cartel leader was killed over the weekend.
The leader of the powerful Jalisco New Generation Cartel, known as El Mencho, was killed after his capture on Sunday. His death led to an eruption of violence. Mexican authorities say at least 73 have died in attacks following his death, and that includes security forces and suspected cartel members. This afternoon, Mexico's president says hundreds of roadblocks set up by the cartel across the country had been cleared. However, the U.S. Embassy in Mexico told Americans who are there to continue sheltering in place and do not travel. Advisories are still in place. As you can see right here, hundreds of flights have been canceled as a result. But this afternoon, some carriers, including United Airlines, are resuming flights.
Troy Kless joins us live at Bush Airport with how Houstonians are being affected. Hey, Troy.
Hey, Ron and Cheryl, several people who returned from Mexico told me today that they are upset with the ongoing violence there. And another woman who says her parents had arrived in Puerto Vallarta were greeted with chaos at the airport once they got there.
Here in Houston, the attention is on what's happening in Mexico. Rochelle Zenzen from Waller says her mom and stepfather flew into Puerto Vallarta, where cartel violence had just began.
When they first got there, she said, like I said, please pray, please pray for us, safety. I guess when they first landed, they didn't know exactly what was going on. They were told there was violence, there was stuff being burned.
Her parents stayed in the airport for several hours. The Chauran family says they went to Guadalajara's airport on Sunday to ensure they could make Monday's flight to Houston. They described the mood.
Some scared, but not in the airport. When we go from the house to the airport, yeah, then was scared.
Al aeropuerto, mucho terror porque sí hubo muchos tomaron la ciudad.
Gabriela and Luis Lopez were safe during their trip and made it back to Houston.
Sentimos tristes ver la situación en nuestro país porque es un país muy bonito, pero la inseguridad es lo que nos hace sentir desconfiados.
Some travelers like Zenzen's parents will remain in Mexico, where she hopes things will return to calm.
There's a lot of people there that are stuck at resorts and can't leave the resorts to come home. So, they're just getting there, whereas people were probably supposed to be coming home yesterday and they can't come home. So it's just bad I think it's bad for everybody.
And within the past few hours, that woman told me that her parents did make it to their resort, which they say is considered safe right now. And according to the U.S. State Department, they say flights to Puerto Vallarta are being impacted due to crew availability. We'll keep you updated on the latest once we learn more. Reporting live at Bush Airport, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.